Welcome to the Mixed Reception Podcast. I'm your host, Barret Sigmund, and today, very special guest, Tony Burrill. What is up?
Yo, what's up? You knew we had to come back. You knew it.
Yeah, you're part of the you're a three-timers club
This
member.
is the three-timers club. You can't keep me away.
So so when we talked about Justice League, I think we did that episode because they had just announced the Snyder Cut. Like, it was official. It was going to be a thing. Like after years of bitching and complaining from the fans, it's finally here. I never thought we'd be watching this. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, even after they announced that they were doing it, I was like, yeah, right. It's one of those things they announced and like it never comes out.
But it's finally here on HBO Max. It's been out for about a week. I caved. I got HBO Max. I like it. It's not bad. I mean, if you're like really big into DC, like Jesus Christ, they have like just about every animated show, movie that you could want.
Oh yeah. Supposedly there's rumors going around that they might come out with like a new season of Batman the Animated Series.
Wait, I didn't hear that. Really?
Yeah, supposedly there's some. I'm on all the comic book stuff. Supposedly there's been some rumors that like they might announce something this summer or something, like all the old writers that did the cartoon show are going to be part of it.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. You know, we'll get into my thoughts about the movie, but I don't know, like, probably kind of spoiler alert how I felt about it. After watching this, I was like, I kind of want more. And so I started going back and watching the old Justice League show from like the early 2000s.
God tier superhero content.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I'm like, I'm really getting into it. But yeah, it's a good service. I don't know if I can afford any more streaming services. This is it for me. I can't.
Really?
I can't do anymore.
I might have to get Paramount Plus.
Well, you got that raise now. You got that new job in Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, get you some Paramount Plus.
I'm about to. No, but when you speaking of Justice League, the cartoon show, don't stop at Justice League Unlimited. That's like the best.
Yeah, because they ended it. It ran for 2 seasons, and then I think they did like a sequel series that was Justice League Unlimited. It was like more of the superheroes from what I.
Yeah, and it's mainly a lot of like one and done episodes with like a bunch of different random heroes, and it's some of the best episodes.
Apparently, this is a thing. I guess there's like a DC animated universe, so I'm gonna like watch all those movies, which that just ended.
They're very good up until recently. Then it's
I heard the ending. What is it? Justice League Dark Apocalypse. That one was kind of mixed, right? People kind of hated that one.
Yeah, and then the Justice League Dark one. I tried watching that twice. I couldn't get through it.
I watched Batman Hush the other day. That was pretty good.
Oh, I didn't watch that one yet.
I was kind of pissed. They changed it from the comics.
No, yeah, Hush is the Riddler.
Yeah, Hush is the Riddler now. In the comic, it was like his friend. I don't know. I mean,
his
it was
childhood friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna watch all these animated shows. But,
there's some good ones. Flashpoint Paradox is good. I like that.
Yeah. That was the one that kind of like kicked it all off. I think that was like the first one. From what I read, I went on Wikipedia and like basically like there's like an order to them. So
yeah.
I did some research. I'm gonna watch all of them.
Do it.
But yeah, I like HBO Max. And then next week, Kong versus Godzilla comes out. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, that's sweet. And then this weekend on Disney Plus, you got sweet Mighty Ducks, dude.
Oh, is that coming out this weekend?
It comes out Friday.
Dude, I didn't even know. I had no clue. I knew that they had announced it, but I didn't even see a trailer for it or anything.
Oh yeah, trailers. They've done a shitty job marketing it. I just kind of saw like a YouTube video, and I was like, "Wait, March 26th."
So, I saw a pic. Ooh, Amelia Estevez is looking old.
He looks like Martin Sheen. That's his dad, but he looks exactly like him.
He looks rough.
Yeah.
Did you watch Tom and Jerry?
No, I didn't. I need to. Is it really awful?
You only have like 3 more days to watch it.
What?
That's
I forgot they're doing
that's
that
the thing.
dumb
Oh,
shit.
so another movie I wanted to watch was Judas and the Black Messiah. I heard that was like really good, and like they took it off. I guess you can only watch them for 3 days. They're doing that bullshit where, yeah, like they're premiering on
Oh,
HBO Max, but you can only watch it for like 30 days.
that's some straight up dog shit.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman 1984. I mean, you can't watch that again. They took it off. Not that you would want to, because it was kind of
No,
shitty, but
that was no, yeah, that was trash.
I'm trying to think what else. Then Mortal Kombat's coming out in like April.
That I can't wait.
I'm excited.
That looks tight.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I like HBO Max. It's pretty good service. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's get into the Snyder Cut, or excuse me, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And this is going to be a loose episode. I didn't even take notes. I just wanted to enjoy it. I mean, this is like I said, it's a loose episode. It's a follow-up episode. We're just going to talk until we run out of steam. I mean, this could be an hour, 2 hours. I don't know. We're just going to talk.
4 hours Snyder Cut.
It could be this conversation could be 4 hours. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any trivia. I mean, I didn't even like look up reviews. I mean, I think the general consensus is that this is a lot better. It's still kind of mixed though. Like I looked at Metacritic real quick before we did this. Metacritic, it's like a 54, and like Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 73. So it's like a little bit more positive, but I think some people are still mixed on it. But what did you think about Zack Snyder's Justice League? I almost said Zack Snyder's The Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut. No, I'm gonna say this. I mean, we'll get into all the nitty gritty and stuff. I mean, they wasn't perfect, but I'll say sometimes I think after watching this and then WandaVision and Winter Soldier, Falcon, I think these superhero movies, like, I mean, comic books are like long form storytelling. So I think that it's like this format, I think, works best. So you have time to flesh out the villain, you have time to flesh out the side characters. I don't know. I'm kind of more into watching these superhero things on like, hours and hours on streaming more than I like going to the movie theater.
Well, you might get your wish, because I don't know what's going on with. I mean, movie theaters might be a thing of the past. I don't know.
Hey, I don't know. I'll say the fact that I still ain't seen damn Black Widow yet makes me think Disney knows something. I don't know.
So we're getting sidetracked. So get this shit. So you're gonna have to pay $30 to see Black Widow. They're releasing it same day in theaters and same day on.
Oh, that dumb shit.
They're doing that Disney the premium access shit. But I guess if you don't have a premium access membership, I guess you have to pay $30. Yeah. So on top of the $10 or whatever, probably more that you're paying a month for Disney Plus, you have to pay $30 to watch this. Which for me, it's just me and my girlfriend. My girlfriend doesn't give a flying fuck about this shit. So I would be the only one watching this, and I would have to pay $30.
That's what I'm saying, and I have to, because I got to see it. Like, they know this.
Ugh. But yeah, so. Well, my biggest takeaway from this, I liked it a lot. Actually, like it was funny. So I got Disney Plus last Friday, and at like 9:00, I started watching it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch like half of it and then go to bed. I ended up watching like the whole thing. I was up till 1:30 watching this. I like really got into it. But my biggest takeaway is like after watching this, it's like, and then what was the point of the reshoots? Like, they had a good movie on their hands.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's like all the stuff that he like filmed was like stupid jokes and shit. Like, the movie already had jokes that matched like the tone of the movie.
Yeah, so. Like this movie, like, and I'm not a big Zack Snyder guy. Like, I like a couple of his movies. I like 300. I like Watchmen. I think Man of Steel and BVS are terrible. But like, I don't know. It's like I could see the studio like kind of being apprehensive. But it's like this movie was way less dark than those two. And it had some levity to it. And yeah, you're right. There were jokes and stuff, mostly from the Flash, but there were some funny interactions. Like there was that one scene where like Aquaman and like Flash are talking. And he's like trying on different hats. And he's like, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put that one on again? Just like funny little banter. Like it seems like I don't know, like this movie already had like some humor to it. It was already like a little bit more lighthearted. So like, what was the fucking point of the reshoots?
I
Like,
think they just
for
wanted it
real.
to be the Avengers. It was like, I bet some executive said this isn't what the Avengers is like. And so they literally hired the director of the Avengers to try to make it like that.
That's my thing though. Like, because I mean, we kind of talked about this in when we talked about the theatrical cut, but like, I mean, I just don't think they wanted him to direct this in the first place. But it was like, I think it was one of those awkward things. Like, they had just started shooting when BVS came out, and I think the studio was like, fuck. But yeah, I mean, it's like, and you can go on YouTube and like look. There's tons of videos that have like a side by side comparison. It seems like, I mean, there's some new stuff that Josh Whedon shot, but like, it just seems like a lot of the scenes he shot were like the same scene, but like just slightly different dialogue and just like to add a joke. And it's just like, and I didn't hate everything Josh Whedon added, but like,
Oh, I did. After watching the Snyder Cut, I realized that all the scenes that they took out were the scenes that I thought were the corniest.
like a good example is that like, oh, let's just shove a scene in where the Flash is making a joke about brunch. Like, I mean, whether you find that's funny or not, like, does it make the movie better? Like, why go through all the trouble just to do that? I don't know. Like, there was a lot of
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of stuff like that.
Well, I'll say one thing I think, and this might be Mandela effect or not, but I remember in like the Joss Whedon cut when they went to like Flash's like secret lair, like he had like K-pop music videos on a lot of
yes,
the
he did.
TVs.
Yes.
That was something they added, and it was like not in the Snyder cut, which I'm like, what the fuck was that weird decision? Like,
Like,
let's put some K-pop on the video screen.
they hired some poor, they hired some poor guy to like go in and like digitally like add that.
Yeah, like it makes them cool with the nerds.
I just like I don't know. It's so baffling to me. Like, I'm at a loss for words, and you know, it's like Justice League when it came out, it was a huge flop, and it didn't get good reviews. And my whole thing is, this could have been so easily avoidable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, and that's the thing too. Like, I feel like, you know, when everybody was like, okay, well, we're doing reshoots. Zack Snyder has left production. I think everybody assumed like, okay, it just didn't have enough humor. But it had humor. Like, you had a good
Yeah.
movie. I don't get it.
Yeah. They had a movie that made sense and it had a plan and it was like thought out at least, which was not what we ended up getting.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I do. I'm one of those people. I think a negative buzz, like when behind the scene drama and problems like come out in the public, I think that can sink a movie before it even comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of saw that with Solo. I mean, like, that wasn't that bad of a movie, but I think you heard about all that like behind the scenes drama and the director's getting fired. I think people were just like, oh, this is gonna suck. I don't want to see this. I think that can hurt. I think negative publicity can hurt a movie like before it even comes out.
I agree. It's like you just get that little smell in your nose that like, oh, this movie is gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna feel like it was made in a boardroom, which is what that some of these movies lately have been feeling like, because I guess they're too afraid to take any risks.
Yeah, I mean, now granted, this wasn't as lighthearted as the Avengers, but I don't know, like this. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, it's so baffling to me. And yeah, I don't know if they just left it alone. Now, granted, there's no way you could release a 4-hour movie in theaters, so you'd have to cut this down. I think you could if you could cut this down to 3 hours. I think I think people would have liked it. It would have got better reviews, and it might have made more money. I don't know.
Well, in the trivia, in the vein of the trivia, supposedly Zack Snyder had it down to about two and a half hours or something, but they had that weird mandate that it had to be no longer than 2 hours on the dot.
Really?
So yeah, it sounds like you had a bunch of assholes that decided they didn't like the movie and were trying to find a reason to fuck with it. But yeah, supposedly he had it down because I mean, I will say it was nice having some more time, but I mean, there was obvious sections of the movie that were filler.
Yeah, like Aquaman, that song they sung to Aquaman.
That was so stupid. Yeah, and then
So
or when it's like, oh, the only way to get up here is to go up the stairs, and like cuts to them walking up the stairs, and then we got to get these people out of here. Cuts to them walking all the people down the stairs. I was like, all right now.
Yeah, I think there's things you could have cut. Yeah, the song Aquaman song you could have got rid of. That was weird. And then she's like sniffing his sweater. Like, what was that? That was so weird.
She just wanted to fuck so bad.
Yo,
he's like, oh my god.
He was smashing those hot villagers.
That's what I was saying. But she's like, oh, this motherfucker stinks, but he's so hot.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that scene doesn't make no sense. I mean, and that maybe it's another thing where James Wan was like, yo, you kind of wrote me into a corner because the shit doesn't make any sense. Why is he like hanging out in this like sea shanty, like speaking a foreign language? And then when you pick up in Aquaman, his solo movie, he's like living in Maine with his like American ass dad. No ties.
They do establish at the end of this movie that he is gonna go see his dad. Oh, so I think there's a certain time period where the seas are too rough and the villagers. I think they explained it. The villagers had a hard time catching fish and stuff. So I think that time of year, I think he just like goes and helps them out.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, like him speaking the language, and it seems like he's like in with like the town like hierarchy. Because there's that scene in the bar when it's like they're shaking down Bruce Wayne for money and stuff. It's that makes me think that like he's an active, like, you know, like he lives here. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. And then in his solo movie, it's not even referenced. I don't know. It just bothered me.
So I was kind of thinking this too. Also, they reshot that scene with the Whedon cut because we have to add a line where I hear you talk to fish.
I know. Yeah, I was expecting to be like, oh, we're going to start with this cringy ass scene. And it was actually a lot better.
It was a lot better. And the scene is essentially the same. Like the outcome is the same. It's just like, I don't know. You got to think about it. They had to get all these sets together, all these actors back, had to get Ben Affleck back. And you can tell the reshoots because Ben Affleck's looking a little bloated. And it's like, it's like just to insert like one little fucking stupid joke.
Yeah, it's because they just wanted like Tony Stark, like isms all over the Justice League movie.
No, but like, well, you got to think when the Justice League came out, obviously we hadn't had Aquaman yet. So I liked that this one made more sense because like there's that scene with him and William Dafoe talking.
Oh, William Dafoe's got that long hair.
Yeah, dude, he was looking cool. He was looking fucking cool.
Oh, really?
I thought he was looking cool. But
when Mara had the Amber Heard had that awful English accent, James Wan said, "Nah, drop that shit."
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind the British accent, but it was weird. Like nobody else in Atlanta. I don't know. Like William Dafoe's not talking with a British accent. Why are you? I don't know.
That's why I'm glad. My James Wan, a director I can trust, like said, we're gonna make this Aquaman shit tight. I'm gonna throw out all that stuff.
But there's that scene that you know, and really, I mean, all the characters are way more. We have more time with them. They're way more fully developed. We get more like better introductions to them.
Yeah, they took their time. I like that.
But there's that scene with him and William Dafoe. I don't know the character's name, but he was kind of like talking to Aquaman and kind of explaining what was going on in Atlantis. And it kind of set up that whole like struggle for the throne. So I thought that like, I don't know, like seeing that like this was supposed to, this came out before Aquaman, that would have been a good scene to add to kind of set that movie up.
I like that because they talked about how his like half brother Orm, the Ocean Master, was like taking over Atlantis, and I was like, oh, that would have been cool in the theaters to be like, oh fuck
and they even make a mention. I think William Dafoe, they make there's like a brief line where he's like, oh, I've been training you for to do what? It's just to do nothing. Because like in Aquaman, it's like, oh well, he was training him all along, but like what? Like so that's just, I don't know. Things made more sense. It made Aquaman make more sense to me.
Yeah, or the simple fact where they showed him get the trident, which didn't make sense in the Whedon version because it was like this motherfucker was like had nothing to do with Atlantis. Now all of a sudden he just has a trident out of nowhere.
I didn't even think about that.
Mom.
That makes a whole lot more sense. But yeah,
that always bothered me. Oh, and I'll say this about that. You notice that Aquaman's armor looks so much cooler in the Snyder Cut. It was like black. It was a lot more like black than it was in the Whedon one. The Whedon one, they made it like super like bright gold, and it looks so stupid.
Well, I think that was the filtering, which they corrected. Like everything was so bright in Whedon's version.
Oh yeah, it looked like dog shit. Even Flash's outfit was cooler.
Yeah, well, it just didn't fit the world that they had already established. Like, you have like this dark universe, and then it's like Josh Whedon's cut. It's like everything's bright. And the ending of the movie looked a lot better too, because I remember in the theatrical cut, it was like that bright red, and it just looked so fake.
Oh, so yeah.
I'm glad they changed like the color filtering.
Yeah,
I mean, it made it look so much better. But yeah, all the extra stuff with Aquaman's good. The Flash, I can't believe they cut that scene.
With him and Iris.
Where he saved Iris. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. At first, I didn't know what they were doing with that hot dog. I was like,
I didn't either. I was like,
in her mouth. I was like, if he puts that in her mouth in slow motion, this movie's going off.
Dude, I actually would have loved that.
It would have been funny, but I would have been like, okay, this movie is just as bad as the last version. So we'll call it a day.
That was a weird scene because it was like he was like messing with her hair and stuff. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was kind of rapey, but yeah. And then he grabbed the hot dog real slow next to her mouth. And I was
yeah, and then
what are you doing, baby?
That song was weird too. I was like,
yeah, that's that Zack Snyder shit. He really likes that, like, because he did it like 10 times and it felt like in this movie.
He had a couple of Nick Cave and the Bad Seed songs, so I didn't mind that. I love Nick Cave.
Didn't mind that.
But a couple of songs I liked, but then that one I was just like, this
just felt a little repetitive though. Like the first couple times, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that scene was awesome too. I mean, it does such a better job of establishing his character because, like, the first introduction we get in the the theatrical cut is like when Bruce Wayne just is like hanging out in his lair.
Yeah, it just shows up right there at his little lair, which is what happened. But it was nice that you got to see like Barry actually like walking over there, and you found out why he has a secret lair. Because he's like new to this shit.
Yeah, but it was like a cool scene. It was kind of funny too. Like there was that was actually really funny. It's like there was like he's awkward, and then he's like trying to like apply for that job at like a pet store, and then it seems like it's not going well. But then he like grabs a hot dog, and it's like he comes back and he's like feeding it to the dogs. I was like, that was like kind of a cute scene.
Yeah, it made you like the character, not just like, ooh, who's this fucking nerd?
Yeah, like, why'd you get rid of that? And then I think the biggest one is Cyborg. Like, I hated Cyborg in the theatrical cut. Like, he sucked. And they cut like 75% of his scenes.
Yeah, no, they cut like everything. He was a pretty central character to the plot of the movie. Yeah, and they cut all of it out.
Yeah.
Well, it also made the Mother Box shit make so much more sense. Like, with like him and how they were experimenting on it, which was like, I guess it turned out was a way for them to kind of work the Mother Boxes into the story more. So like, just they said, we're going to cut all this shit out.
Yeah, what the fuck? I know him, and I was kind of thinking about this. Like, I know Josh Whedon and I guess that actor, like, I guess didn't get along. There's a big old thing.
Yo, God, I've been watching that. Yeah, but he won't come out and say exactly what happened. Supposedly there was one point where it was like, because he's also going after Jeff Johns, who's a legendary comic writer. So, and which I hope it's not the stuff he's saying about Jeff Johns isn't true, because I like Jeff Johns. I don't want him to be a weirdo. But supposedly there was some like thing where they got in a heated debate about what Cyborg's penis should look like.
Wait, what?
So Ray Fisher, the actor of Cyborg, said there was some point Jeff Johns, who was supposed to, like, I guess one of the weird attempts at like copying Marvel that Warner Brothers did was they hired the creative director of DC Comics at the time, which is legendary writer Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
To be like their Kevin Feige. And it like didn't work, and they fired him immediately. But yeah, I guess he said there was a couple things that like Ray Fisher hated. It was them insisting that he say "booyah" at the end of the movie
Oh,
to
that
like
would not
nod
have
to the
fit.
cartoons.
That would not have fit at all.
Well, it didn't at the end of the Whedon cut when he
Did he
says
say
it
it?
because
I don't
it's
even
so
remember.
it's so half-assed. He just goes "booyah," but I'm like, that's not it. But but then supposedly they got in an argument about like Cyborg like having a penis and what it looked like or something like that.
Why? Oh my god.
Don't know. That's why I thought, but no, that's like a real thing. He came out and said it. Like, but supposedly, Joss Whedon was like a real asshole, and like all half the cast has come out in support. Like Jason Momoa said it. Gal Gadot said he was a jerk. The whole cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer said he's a jerk.
I heard that. Yeah, apparently he had to get like all the hot girls away from him or something.
Not even. It was like young Michelle Trachtenberg wasn't allowed to be alone with him.
Ugh.
Which I'm like, damn, dog. Harriet the Spy? Come on, bro.
Oh my god, I did not know about that penis story. Like Jeff Johns, what are your future plans for the DCU? I don't know, but we got to get this penis right.
Said I want Cyborg to have a huge cock.
Listen, I want Cyborg to have a big cock. Not as big as Aquaman's, but I want him to have a big cock.
Yeah, when we eventually do the Teen Titans movie, I just want him fucking all the chicks.
Yeah, I don't know. Cyborg was great though. Like, I actually like.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, that was my whole thing. It's like I think going into the theatrical cut, it's like okay, I kind of know a little bit about the Flash. I kind of know a little bit about Aquaman. Like, I don't know fucking shit about Cyborg. Like,
yeah, I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, well, is he like a newer character? I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
No,
Cyborg.
so he was introduced originally as like a Teen Titan, and it wasn't until the New 52 in the comic books back in like 2011 they rewrote history to make him a founding member of the Justice League to add a little bit more diversity to the team.
Yeah, okay.
And that's a lot of the fanboys don't like it because I mean he works so much better as a Teen Titan with those characters. It's just kind of awkward him and Batman because Batman's already kind of like a tech genius. So like what does Cyborg bring to the team? Which then, and I will say in this movie though, they kind of made Cyborg like super powerful. I mean, this motherfucker can just like go into his head and be attached to all the computers in the world. I'm like,
yeah, I thought that was a little too much. Like that was probably something you could have cut. But yeah, there's that scene where like it's a long ass scene too, where he's like following that like struggling single mom around, and then I was like,
a lot of people didn't like that a lot of people didn't like that he like broke into an ATM and like stole a bunch of money. I was like, all right, I didn't think it was bad, but I just thought it was a nice little thing. Him using his him learning how to use his powers was a nice little montage.
Yeah. It was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of silly. And then there was like that one scene where like the bear and like the bull are fighting or something. You remember that?
Oh, that was him like saying, listen to the dad's tape, saying that like he could like basically control like all of Wall Street. And that's what that was. You know, the bull market and the bear market.
Yeah.
I thought it looked stupid as fuck, but
yeah, CGI was not good. That must have been the thing he had.
It had to have been, yeah.
And then then he can like control all like the nuclear missiles in the world. Yeah, I think he's a little too powerful. Yeah. But I got a better idea of like what his powers were. I had like no. Yeah. He was just generic robot man in the theatrical cut.
Yeah. And then the theatrical cut, they made it seem like he like just hated his dad because his dad turned him into a robot. And then this one, they fleshed that out so much more.
Yeah,
he didn't. Found out there's just a lot more drama there than.
He's like
I look stupid.
He's a workaholic. Like he's never there for him. He doesn't show up at his game. Like and the father was in it a lot more too. I like that character. He's like the guy from T2. The Dyson, I think. But but then one thing I do like though that like the Doom Patrol, which also has the character Cyborg in it, also on HBO Max. It's Doom. I heard good things about Doom Patrol. Pretty good.
Doom Patrol's amazing. Okay. It's only got 2 seasons so far, but yeah, no. That one they go into the relationship with the dad, and it's like that one they play on the idea that the dad may or may not have brought Cyborg back to life. Well, basically, they hint that maybe the dad brought him back to life just more as he was just obsessed with experimenting and the science of it, not so much because he wanted to bring his son back to life.
Oh, okay.
Which
Oh, that's interesting.
I think that's really interesting, and they didn't do that in the movie. They wanted to, like, I guess they wanted to bring it home by the end, which I get, but I kind of like how Doom Patrol, it's like that gray area of how much did you want to bring your dead kid back to life, and how much did you just want to see if you could.
Ooh, that is kind of interesting. Yeah, that could have been cool. But I don't know. I still though, like, I mean, yeah, like Cyborg like kind of has an arc in this movie, right? Like he's kind of like he's doesn't want anything to do with anybody, and at the end of the movie, what he says a line. It's kind of cheesy. It's like, oh, I found my purpose, but like it's a nice arc. Yeah. I forget what he says something like, I found my purpose or something. I can't remember.
I forgot what he said, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and now it makes sense why I see that he was going to be in the Flash movie, because it seems like he's like at peace with his new status as being like a superhero. So who better than to hang out with the Flash?
Yeah, Cyborg, that movie got straight up canceled, didn't it?
They just said, fuck that. I don't even know why they thought about making one to begin with. I mean, he's a good character in this movie, but I can watch just the Cyborg movie.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because like my whole thing was like, why the fuck didn't they do the solo movies first? But like, I don't know. Like after watching this, like I thought this was a good jumping off point, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, it did a good job setting up everybody's little worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, because like everybody is fleshed out enough. Everybody has something to do. Like I don't know. Like I was like, you know what? I'm kind of bummed now, actually.
Oh really? Yeah, I figured we go into the epilogues towards later. That's what I was gonna say. Like, cause I kind of had mixed feelings about those, but
yeah, we'll save the epilogue.
Save the epilogues.
We'll get to that. But yeah, like Cyborg. I actually like Cyborg now. Like he's actually like a interesting character. He's likable. Like, yeah. I mean,
and I will say this: it didn't feel. I mean, Batman was pretty like very prominent in the movie, but I felt like the theatrical cut was basically like just like Batman was central to everything, and he was in almost every scene. Where I felt like this one, Batman was like basically leading the whole thing, but I didn't feel like it was like the Batman movie.
I actually like Ben Affleck in this movie. I want more of him as Batman, because I think we said this. I think one of our categories was like, who's the worst actor? I think we went with Ray Fisher, but I think we gave an honorable mention to Ben Affleck because he just looked like he did not want to be there. But in this movie, he's like charming. He's great in this movie.
Well, now I kind of get it, because it seems like, imagine you finish the movie and then they call you back to like basically recreate all the scenes. I wouldn't want to do this shit either.
Yeah, just to add a joke. Like, oh, here you go.
We want you to do this whole thing verbatim, just with this one shitty joke in it, though. I'd be like, yeah, this is lame. So now I kind of get it.
There is a scene. I don't know the line verbatim, but he's basically talking in the Josh Whedon version. He's talking about like bringing back Superman. He's like, Superman was a beacon of hope. Like his line delivery is so like, I don't want to be here. And it's like it's like he's reading off of cue cards and he just woke up and he's hungover. Like, oh my god! It's so much more context now. Like, we have the full picture now. I like really because I wasn't that down on the theatrical cut. I gave it like 2.5. I think you gave it like 2. I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't go back and listen, but I wasn't that bad on it. Like now, like I kind of hate it. I would never watch it again.
No, I wouldn't. This is the definitive version as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I could see myself like watching this again. I mean, probably not anytime soon, but like I could see like a year from now, like, I'm gonna pop in the Snyder.
Yeah, at least watch it in chapters. I thought that would have worked too if they would have gone with that.
I did like the chapters. I thought that was
I like that too.
Let's see who else we can talk about. I thought that just the action was better. Like it seems like they just like edited a lot of the action scenes down in the theatrical cut. Like that scene in the bank with Wonder Woman, that was like way fucking better.
I like that. Even though I will agree with a lot of people's sentiments, it was a little weird that like Wonder Woman was straight up like murdering those fucking guys. Like, she throws that one guy head first to the wall, and there's like a blood spot behind. I was like, all right, this is a little extreme. What's going on here?
It was cool. I mean, at this point, I'm used to fucking heroes murdering people because it's Snyder. It's Zack Snyder. That's his like. He doesn't really understand these characters.
But that was like more violent than like. Well, never mind, because Steppenwolf was pretty violent, but it was, as far as the heroes go, I think that was probably one of the most like violent scenes in the movies, which was weird that they chose like Wonder Woman to be that of all the characters.
Yeah. I don't remember if this was in the theatrical cut. Maybe it was, but that scene where she's just like catching like deflecting all the bullets with her, like.
It was for like a second, not nearly. She wasn't doing the cool thing where she was like squatting across the room and like just launching bullets left and right. Because I remember that was one of my complaints in the podcast we did, where it's like they kept showing when they introduced Wonder Woman, they just show her like speeding around the room, and I was like, why would you like have Wonder Woman be like a speedster in a movie where you're introducing a speedster? And it seems like that was all added in.
Oh yeah,
they didn't really do that in this one.
I think a lot of it was just like we have to cut scenes, we have to trim. 2-hour mandate. What the fuck? The 2-hour mandate. To get back to that, I don't know. Some of the highest grossing movies are over 3 hours long, like Endgame.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings,
Avatar, Titanic.
Yeah,
like I don't.
Some of these Hollywood people, they just don't need to be like producers and stuff. It's bizarre.
It's about who you know. Honestly, that's how it is.
And I think you have people that are good at like getting all the funding. I mean, the movie had a giant budget, so I mean that should be applauded. But at the same time, it's like that was like what hurt the movie, I think.
Oh, it's one of the most expensive movies ever made. It's like over $300 million budget. I want to say I read that they put like $40 million into reshoots.
That's crazy. And then I think they spent like another like $70 million on the Snyder Cut or something like.
Yeah, I think. I don't really fully understand. I guess it was to re-edit the film and then update the special effects for the scenes that they cut, and then to
all
add
the nightmare scenes epilogue. I heard. Yeah, all the epilogue and nightmare scenes I heard were brand new footage, which explains why Batman's costume looks so dog shit in the nightmare scenes.
Oh, I don't even remember. I didn't even pay attention to his costume.
His like mask is like really loose.
That's because he lost a lot of weight because he was all buff. Yeah. Oh,
you look at him.
We're jumping around, but I'll just say this real quick. The end with the Martian Manhunter, Ben Affleck looks so skinny.
Oh yeah, I agree. He was looking good in that cool, where that cool house he was living in at the end.
Yeah, but like,
it's like
for him. It's like 4 fucking years have passed. Like he looks different. Like I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, and he went to rehab after, so he's not as bloated. So yeah, good for Bandage. Shout out to
that. He's fucking that hottie from Blade Runner.
Oh,
you know the one that was like the projection, that girl.
Yeah,
she's hot.
Yeah. Good for him, dog.
Yeah,
he's living his best life.
I was trying to think what else.
Trying to think whatever. Oh, Superman. We got to cover the last member of the league. Superman's story was well done in this.
Well, there was a scene. There's a lot of reshoots with that too. Well, you can tell because of the
suit and everything.
Well, the mustache, the CGI mustache, upper lip.
Oh yeah. Well, I will say. Well, we'll make one point. That was probably the strongest part about the Whedon's version was he had Superman totally different, which I kind of liked. That was like one of the few things I liked about
I did too.
Was how Superman was kind of like this, like really like peaceful fatherly figure to like these new heroes, and it was like teaching them lessons on how to be like a hero, and I really liked that. I felt that was the most like what I like about the DC characters I've seen on the movie. But then this one showed him be more. Like, he kind of looked like a guy who just came back to life and he's trying to figure shit out.
Well, there's a very minor, subtle thing. There was that scene where he's like in the crop field, the cornfield, and there's like a butterfly or something that's just like on his hand, and he just takes a moment to kind of look at it and play with it. And I was just like, that is so subtle and like cool, like. Yeah,
it makes me wish we could have another Henry Cavill Superman movie without all the bullshit, dumb shit in it.
Well, we'll get into that. I mean, they're rebooting. I don't know what's going on, but Well, yeah, I actually did not hate how Whedon wrote Superman. I actually like that is how Superman's supposed to, because that's the thing. Like, I mean, like I like this movie, but Zack Snyder fundamentally does not understand Superman. I don't even know if he likes Superman. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. Yeah, like he is kind of like in this movie. He just came back to life. Like he's just kind of taking it all in. And I do like that line that he's like, "Yo, I have a second chance. Like I'm not going to ruin it." That wasn't in the original cut.
No, the other one, he just kind of came back and just got right back to business.
Yeah, that cornfield scene where he's like hugging Lois and his mom, like that. I feel like that was in the original cut, but it was just like shorter, and you can tell they like reshot it because of the CGI upper lip, but also the cornfield was like CGI too. It looked like dog shit. Yeah. I didn't hate that scene in the original with the like where he's talking to those kids, but it's like but they're just it was so obvious that they were trying to do like Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's start our movie with like shitty cell phone footage.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I don't want to do that ever again. I hated that.
But like, it's like, couldn't you have done the same scene without the shitty cell phone footage? Anyway, I digress. Also, it was so crazy to me because there's some things in the original cut that seem like they were Zack Snyder stuff, but they were actually Josh Whedon stuff. Like that whole opening with the song, that horrible song. Everybody knows. So bad. Yeah, that was fucking Josh Whedon. That seemed like such a Zack Snyder thing.
It was, because he loves those slow songs, Americana songs with cool imagery. I liked the opening to this movie a lot better, where it picks up right when Superman dies and how like everyone else like felt it. I was like, okay, I like that.
You like that? I thought it was a little stupid, but I mean,
it went on a little too long. I'll say that. It went on like 2 beats too long, but I like how it was like, symbolic of.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's just like he's like, and then it's just like slow mo, and I don't know. It's just I kind of laughed a little bit. It was kind of silly, but yeah, I didn't hate it.
One also note about Superman that I liked about the Snyder version as opposed to the Whedon version was they made several things where Flash said multiple times that Superman was like his favorite hero, and that was his hero, and he really looked up to him. So he was like, I guess, like really like affected by Superman dying, where in the Whedon version, they did the opposite, where they had Flash like really looked up to Batman, and Batman kind of like did that one scene where, just save one life and all that stuff. That was
stupid.
Yeah.
If he's an established hero, why would that be a problem for him?
But then they've mentioned several times that Batman's like still kind of like like an urban legend. Like a lot of people didn't know if he existed or not.
Yeah, because Cyborg says, "I don't know if you exist," and he's like, "I'm exist when I'm needed or something. I don't know when it matters."
When it's convenient or something like that. Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did. It just that one in the Sweden version just felt like plot convenience, where it's like, "Oh, Batman, you're my favorite hero. Teach me everything you know." Where this one, like, Flash says things like, "Oh, I wish Superman was still around," or like, "This wouldn't be happening if Superman was still." It was a nice touch. So then when Superman comes back and then like beats his ass, it was a lot more dramatic.
Also, too, that the studio like wanted this to be exactly like the Avengers, because Whedon basically added conflict to the group for no reason in the theatrical.
Oh yeah.
There's that scene where like, Diana, like he's like, "Well, you can't get over your boyfriend."
Oh, your dead boyfriend or some shit. Oh yeah. That, and he did the scene where it didn't like Barry like run headfirst into Wonder Woman's titties or something.
Well, like that's the thing. There was already funny stuff with Flash. Like I love when he first meets Wonder Woman. That was in both versions where he's like, "Hi, Diana," or he's like, "Hey, Barry, I'm Diana." That's not right. Like, there's that one scene where him and Cyborg are talking. He's like, "Yo, like, do you think she would go for a younger guy?" And then Cyborg's like, "Everybody's younger. Like, she's 5,000 years old." Which that seems like a very Whedon like line, but it's like it was actually in this version.
No, Whedon said, "Nah, dude, fuck that shit. Just rub your face in her boobs." And everyone's like, "That sounds like Josh." But then
Well,
I
that's
didn't
just
remember this, but supposedly that Quicksilver did that exact scene or gag in Age of Ultron. I saw a lot of people on Twitter say that.
I watched Age of Ultron recently because I had just watched WandaVision. And I was like, I don't fucking remember Age of Ultron. I need to go back and watch it because that's when they're introduced. I don't really
underrated.
I'll say it's okay. I still don't remember anything about it. You said there's a scene where Quicksilver does the same thing. Oh yeah, he falls on top of Black Widow, right?
Yeah, and then like facing the titties. So that's a Whedon trademark. He loves that.
I'm sure that happened on Buffy a lot too, probably.
He put his face in like Sarah Michelle Gellar's boobs.
Like
they're like, you're not even a character on the show, Joss.
Angel. he wrote himself into the show. I also like that to go piggyback off that scene where they're by the gravesite though. There's a cool scene with like Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and they're kind of talking and like, hey, like, our people haven't like talked in like forever, and like, oh, I have a saying on I have a saying in the Amazon, blah 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 blah. I don't know the exact line, and then Aquaman's like, oh yeah, we say that too. So that was a cool little moment.
Yeah, which it's also if they were because at one point they were talking about. I don't know if it's still the case, but the Flash movie is just going to be called Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And that's a big plot point in that, where in the future it's the Amazons and the Atlanteans are at a big war with each other.
Oh.
So that was like a lot of like plot development kind of going on there, where they were acknowledging that the two like Earth's two ancient societies don't get along.
Also, this movie, the ending to this fucking movie was infinitely better because in the theatrical cut, he's like, he gets defeated, Steppenwolf, and then it's like the parademons like kill him because they sense his fear. That's the lamest shit ever.
Yeah, it was. It was like,
but yeah, like no, like Flash. It establishes that Flash is now fast enough to like reverse time, so that sets up the Flash thing.
I love that. And he said that one time. He says, after this one time I tried it, I made a promise I wouldn't mess with time again. So I'm wondering is he referencing going back in time and trying to keep his mom save his mom's life? Like, did that already happen?
I don't know. But
that's why I like little nods like that. They're like, oh my god, so they've already like done some shit. Like he's already time traveled at one point.
Yeah, this does such a better job at setting stuff up, which is ironic because like you would think the producers would be like, we got to set up all these spinoffs and all these sequels, and then they didn't lay any of the groundwork,
which I thought was a weird part that they cut out. So which I thought would make a lot more sense. So there's that one scene where they're trying to activate, or I forgot what they're trying to activate or destroy the third mother box. And then Barry's like, don't do that. And then it shows a vision of like the Earth being destroyed.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and I think that was them.
Doesn't he?
That's what Cyborg does. He sees it and he tries to tell him like, hey, like abort. This is a bad idea. I think that was them setting up like a multiverse. And then it kind of proves that at the end with like the nightmare world is like, now that's become its own parallel timeline, alternate timeline.
Yeah.
So there's like two Earths. So Earth 2, I don't know. So it's like, so maybe that was what they were going for. And that's why all the movies kind of don't line up, because there's like, they were trying to like create this like multiverse.
I think that's what they were doing. Yeah.
So it just seems weird that they cut that scene out. They kept the nightmare shit in the Batman versus Superman, but then they cut that cool scene out.
I always thought this was weird in both versions. Like, if I'm Bruce Wayne, like the first thing I'm saying to the Barry Allen is like, yo, bro, you came back in time and talked to me.
Dude, I'm so glad that they fucking Bruce Wayne finally acknowledged that in this new version.
He kind of does. He's like, I think him and Diana are talking. He's like, oh, yeah, like I had a vision. And Barry said,
Lois is the key.
But it's like, but I don't know. I would have talked to him. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have been like, yo, Barry, we need to talk, bro. Like,
I'm just glad that he acknowledged it. Like, I was like, okay, so we just forgot that happened. And then in the the Nightmare epilogue, it shows Flash with the fucking helmet on. I'm like, thank God. I just wanted them to say that no, that did happen. It wasn't just some like thing you remember.
Well, let's talk about Steppenwolf, and then we'll get into the Nightmare stuff, because Steppenwolf, he's still kind of a lame villain, but like way more fleshed out. He has motivation. So I guess the whole thing is he's basically trying to get in Darkseid's good graces.
Yeah, I guess he tried to like fuck over Darkseid and then lost. And now he's like, on the outs. He's trying.
I wish they went into that more.
Kind
of broad, but it's something, because holy shit, Steppenwolf was like probably the worst villain in a movie ever in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't really think he's that cool, but he's a lot better.
He looks a lot better too. I don't know why they made him some like old guy in the Whedon version.
Oh yeah, the battle with him at the end, it's like I said, it's so much better. Like fucking Superman's like fucking lasering off his fucking horn. That was fucking cool.
That was tight. The scene where he fights all the Amazons was so much better in this.
That was longer.
It was, like, intense.
Oh my god, they just go into the history more of like.
Yeah.
Also, they explain. So Diana, I think in the theatrical cut, she just saw the footage of like the arrow on fire and those ruins on TV, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it's like the next scene, she's like explaining everything to Bruce. I like how she like actually does some investigating. She like goes to the site and she actually like learned about the history. Because I was just like, my whole thing is like, bitch, how you know all about this?
Yeah, that, and I like how it kind of sets up that like the reason why Steppenwolf showed up now as opposed to like before Superman or something is because he says, now there's no Kryptonian and there's no Green Lanterns of Earth. So which tells me that that's like we would have found out more in a Green Lantern movie, but Earth was like pretty undefended at that moment. So that's why, because that's what I thought. Like, well, why'd they wait until like now to go get all these mother boxes? Why wouldn't they just got them all along?
You could have done that 1,000 years before Superman arrived.
Yeah, and then you find out that Darkseid had already tried to get these mother boxes and failed miserably, and that Steppenwolf is like seizing opportunity. It just made so much more fucking context to what the hell was going on with these mother boxes.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff you could have cut, it kind of made me laugh. There's like 3 scenes with like Steppenwolf going back. Well, I got the second mother box now. Now I will go get the.
When he goes and puts it in that metal thing and talks to Jasad. Jasad.
That guy, he looked cool. I don't know anything about that character, but
I don't know. It's just all the New God stuff, which that was them like hyping that up, and they showed Darkseid Apocalypse, which is Darkseid's homeworld, and the old lady next to him, which is a character called Granny Goodness. I was like, that's a nice touch. Okay. That's a deep cut.
That's the thing. That's why I want to like watch the Justice League cartoon now, because I want to like know all this stuff.
Oh, there's a good episode to watch to cherry pick on the Superman the Animated Series. There's an episode all about Darkseid and the New Gods, and it explains everything. It's like season 2 of the Adventures of Superman cartoon show. Amazing.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch them all. I'm gonna watch animated series Batman, Batman Beyond. I'm gonna watch Superman the animated series.
I'm gonna watch. I gotta finish Young Justice. I got into that one pretty hard and then just stopped watching. That's pretty good too.
So many things I gotta watch. And on Disney Plus, I mean, we're talking DC, but like they released all the Marvel stuff, like the old X-Men cartoon. So I gotta watch that.
Oh yeah.
I'm set up for television for like the next year.
Exactly. I might watch X-Men Evolutions all over again.
That was good too. That was a good one. I think that's
still my favorite cartoon. That's my favorite superhero cartoon show.
But yeah.
Steppenwolf was tight, and then I liked the Mother Box stuff. No, there was one scene where it was like they show. Remember in the Whedon cut, this shit pissed me off. Then it was like they're fighting Superman, and then in the background it just cuts to Steppenwolf like tiptoeing and grabbing the Mother Box like a Looney Tune and just like vanishing. Yeah, they didn't do that in this one. Thank God.
That was so much better. It's like they established that Cyborg's dad like grabs it, and then
it makes it hot, which I
he
thought
makes
was
it
cool.
hot,
That
so
was
then they can
interesting.
track it later. Oh, that was so great. And then it was like a nice, like, kind of a sad moment, like, you know, like his dad dies.
Yeah.
The dad I liked. The dad was cool. I don't know. Like their relationship was interesting. I don't know. Just there's conflict. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just good. But my one movie note would be like, I would have just done one mother box, not three of something. Then it just felt like a video game. Like, Steppenwolf's got 2 out of 3.
I did like yeah, I don't know. Well, I would have cut that stuff when he keeps coming back. Although one of the scenes is pretty crucial. They explain, and so you're a comic book connoisseur, so you can explain this more than I can. But the anti-life equation.
Oh yeah.
So what's that about? Because I'm like,
dude, it's most comic booky, like trippy shit. It's just like there's this equation, literal equation. I don't know if it's like a math equation. It's like ambiguous, and then once Darkseid can get a hold of it, then he can like basically control like death, or I guess, and like control like living and dead. I can even it's up to whoever who's writing the comic at the time like decides what it is. But it basically gives Darkseid the power to like kill everybody at his like.
But also, whims. Like by putting that in, you give Steppenwolf like more motivation because it makes conquering Earth like that much more important.
Yeah, and then the fact that Darkseid tried to do it before, so that's why Earth is so much more, prominent than other planets. Because they even said, like, dude, like it's just one planet, but he goes, it's a planet that Darkseid couldn't take for himself.
Also, to go back to the Whedon version, I absolutely hated the beginning where he's on the rooftop fighting that parademon, and it was so stupid because he fights them, and then he like explodes and like he imprints like the shape of the 3 mother boxes on the wall, and that was like, there's 3 things I gotta get, but that makes no sense because in BVS, Lex Luthor, he signaled the bell, right, in that ship.
Yeah.
And he told Bruce that more people were coming. That's all the motivation you needed to get the Justice League together, because he said more people are coming. And then, like, he learns out late. He finds out about the mother boxes when Diana comes to talk to him. It just, oh my god,
yeah,
it made so much more sense. And like that scene is one of the dumbest scenes ever. That the parademon,
and then that awful like bank robber or whatever, that like thug that was like, "Yo, Batman." You go and keep me hanging here all day.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, are they coming because Superman died?"
Yeah, I'm like, I'm glad they cut that dumb shit out.
That was added. It makes no sense. You didn't need to add that scene.
Exactly.
Because like his whole motivation for getting the team together, he already has those files, right? That Luthor gave him, and Luthor already told him that like some strange shit was coming their way. So why like that? Why did you add that scene? Only for like Diana to explain the mother boxes anyway later. That scene
it was probably just some
bad.
Dumb shit where it's like, maybe some people haven't seen Batman vs Superman. This is their first time, so let's create the mystery in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, it was dumb.
All right. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we need to cover before we get into the epilogue?
No, I would just say, I mean, it's very much, it's the same movie, but it's different in a lot of ways. And I'd say, this is the better version.
I would say when Superman rips open his shirt and reveals the S, that's when I would stop.
That shit was tight.
But again, that's something that to me, when I saw that in the theatrical cut, I'm like, oh, Whedon probably added that. But that was a Zack Snyder thing.
Yeah. One other note I did like is they actually explained like how they were going to bring Superman back to life in this one, where in the Whedon version, they just kind of did it. Like, I was always confused then, where it's like, why are we putting him in this gross like water and like turning this machine on? How is that bringing him back to life? And then this version, they explain that like the mother box energy like charges his body back to life essentially.
Also, too, I got to mention this. Another weird reshoot. Like, when they're fighting Batman, Yeah, when Superman comes back to life, and it's like in the theatrical cut, he picks up Batman and he's like, "Do you bleed?" And it's just like, I was like, why add that?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
Somebody was like trying to defend that. I'm in like a Facebook group where we
Oh
talk
yeah.
about this shit, and this one guy was like, "Well, it was to a well, it was. I think we did a better job of making you realize that like Superman and Batman didn't like each other." I mean, I think you can kind of probably already get that by him charging at him, like.
I know, right? Like,
It was just like I don't know, so weird that I don't know. It was I don't know. But did you like Batman's I guess Alfred I guess did something with Diana's like I guess bracelets and he put them on his suit. Did you like that?
I thought it was, yeah, it was cool. I liked it when it was like Superman does like the heat vision on it for too long and it gets like super hot and he's like it's like steaming and he's got to like throw it off real fast.
I thought that was cool because it was like
I thought that was badass. I was like, okay, that's cool.
but also I think it does a better job of like Batman has a little bit more of like an even field with these other heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
he can take some hits.
Yeah, he at the end battle he's still kind of just shooting stuff, but I don't know. I thought it kind of gave him like a level up because he doesn't have powers. I don't know. I liked that. I thought it was cool. Also, Speaking of things you could cut, there's a scene that goes on for way too long where like Alfred and Diana are like going back and forth about who's gonna make the tea.
Oh, I know. I thought it was funny the first time, and then it was like, okay, now he's gonna like mansplain how to make tea.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Like, there's some stuff you could have trimmed. Definitely, you could have gotten this down to 3 hours.
Yeah, I agree. There was a bunch of like just them, just I don't know, B-roll.
Also, I really want Wonder Woman and Bruce to fuck. There's that.
Oh my God,
that scene when they like held hands. I was like, okay, I like that couple.
I'm not into that. I fell in love with her and Steve Trevor. I'm sorry. Even in 1984, I liked them together, even though she was technically fucking another guy.
That dude is so creepy.
Exactly.
That movie. Oh my God, I might have to do like a full episode on that movie. I know we already talked about it a little bit, but like, oh my God, that movie's so bad.
Yeah,
it's entertaining though. All right, should we get into the nightmare stuff?
All right, let's get into the nightmare stuff, dude.
I did not like the epilogue. So okay.
I didn't like any of them. I thought the movie would have been better off without any of the epilogues, honestly.
With the Martian Manhunter stuff, that like
unnecessary, too much. It was like an already a bloated movie, and then thrown in another character.
Well, there's a scene too where like what is it? Lois and Ma Kent are like talk. It was actually like a really good scene, and they're like talking about like, you haven't been to work in a while. Like you need to move on. Like I was like, this is like well acted. It's a really emotional scene, and all that emotion is just like completely just undercut by like Ma Kent turning into Martian Manhunter, who I guess is the general from Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And it's like
been there all along.
Also, too, at the end of the movie, he's like, well, it's like, bitch, like, where you been? Why didn't you help out?
I know, right? Exactly. Saying that, like, you want to be a part of the Justice League. Like, bitch, we could have used you a couple days ago when we were in Chernobyl fighting Steppenwolf.
Also, like, I want to, like, rewatching Man of Steel now has got to be weird because, like, there's nothing to make you think that he would ever be Martian Manhunter, that general guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, supposedly, some insider scoop was the scene at the end where Bruce Wayne's in that thing. It was originally written, and I think that for obvious reason they couldn't do it. It wasn't Martian Manhunter who shows up. It was supposed to be like Kilowog and another Green Lantern were supposed to show up.
Okay.
But I think that, they would have had to like do some casting for a movie that's not going to be made now. So I think they changed it to Martian Manhunter for the Snyder Cut.
So dumb. Oh, I don't know. Just really dumb. Why'd you have to make it the general? Like, why did it have to be him? I don't know.
That's not saying that one. I think it was but that one felt like more for like the shock. Like it was supposed to be, Martian Manhunter dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I like this movie, though, I think the epilogue is Zack Snyder flogging himself.
I thought it was like, yeah, like here's what you guys could have had. I had all the shit planned.
Which I have
Like
to
them.
say, I am so shocked that this is the same guy who directed BVS. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what like. Why did we even make BVS? Why didn't they just start with Justice League and then we could have just, I don't know, could have had all this to begin with.
All right, so the nightmare scene.
You almost forgot they set up the Atom too. That was cool.
Oh,
that one I liked.
Star Labs.
Yeah, it was Ryan Choi Atom, not Ryan Palmer or whatever his name is.
I'm not
Ray Palmer.
I'm not that familiar with the Atom. Wasn't that a CW show?
The Atom TV show? I don't think so. I don't know.
Wasn't he in Arrow or something?
Oh, yeah. Brandon Routh, who also played Superman at one point, played the Atom in Arrow. But yeah, the Arrow they were going to use was the newer version, who's like a young Asian scientist. So that would have been cool, having an Atom movie, which you could do cool stuff with that. But I felt like this was unnecessary. Why would you even you're not going to do anything with this character. So it was just unneeded to be like, hi, my name's Ryan Choi. Wink, wink.
It was like, it wasn't as distracting as like the Martian Manhunter thing.
Oh yeah, that was too much. I thought.
Yeah, the Nightmare Vision. Look, okay, here's the thing. So I guess
hated it.
Here's the thing. Like, I didn't hate it, but like, it just doesn't belong in this movie. You ripped out an out of context scene in a future movie, a future movie, and then just inserted it into this. It was the same shit with BVS, and I think it looked cool. Like, visually, I think it looked cool. Like, I like that setting. I like the apocalyptic, city. It looks really cool. It's just like, it has nothing to do with this movie.
The only thing I thought was interesting about this was, one, I'm glad we got to see, as I heard, Zack Snyder only did it to be selfish. So we finally got to see Ben Affleck, Batman, and Jared Leto, Joker interact, which he said that's the only reason why he put Joker in this group. Because he said he was bummed that he never got a chance to write the two characters together. So that's what this was.
Which the dialogue wasn't that great. Like, Joker's talking about
dialogue
who's gonna give you a reach around. I'm sorry, I hate Jared Leto. Jared Leto fucking sucks.
I felt like he was doing a Jim Carrey impression the whole time. Like, that's what he was talking like.
Yeah,
but I felt like there's like a really interesting story that will never be told about what the fuck happened with this whole him killing the Robin storyline. Like, I feel like that's probably the most interesting story that's like come out of these Zack Snyder movies, and we'll probably never know what the fuck they were going for with
that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like Jared Leto as a Joker.
No, I just were met just like the whole Affleck. At one point, though, I guess they did, because who knows? Well, Zack Snyder said that it was Dick Grayson Robin is the one that they're referring to.
Oh, really?
Of what the fuck happened where Robin gets killed and then like Joker sees it as like the ultimate win over Batman.
Yeah, I did.
They reference it multiple times throughout like all these movies.
That was definitely going to be explored. Definitely. I mean, I guess they were going for the Injustice storyline. And now, is that in the comics or is that just like the video game?
Oh no, the Injustice one, yeah, that's just the video game where Superman becomes like
evil, right?
Yeah, but that one's different. That in the Justice games is because Joker kills Lois Lane, which causes Batman to go like total like becomes like the president essentially.
Okay.
Rules over everything.
But this one was similar, right? Because it's like Lois is the key, so Lois I guess dies, and that makes
Lois dies, and then Superman succumbs to like Darkseid's influence, I guess. Yeah, with the anti-life equation and whatever. Basically just becomes evil, yeah.
Now, is that something they do in the comics, or
maybe once or twice? I'd say that one. I think that's a pretty like whatever Elseworlds kind of storyline. Man, I don't think it's ever happened like for real now.
Zack Snyder really does. He really wants Superman to be mean, to be evil.
Yeah, which I'm like, that's not fun. It's like it's not interesting. I feel like you can do
Well,
that with any character.
I mean, the scene was dumb. The Joker and Batman scene was, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but like, yeah, like weird dialogue. Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess like Batman was like, oh, when I was holding Harley Quinn as she was dying, she told me to fucking kill you or something. I don't know what the line was, but
yeah. Which I was like, dang, Harley Quinn gets killed at some point. But yeah, I like. I sometimes I wish we could have got this Batman versus Joker movie set in Gotham with all the characters having already like fought each other several times in the past. I thought that would be so interesting to
well, that was
watch.
going to happen because I think the original idea for Ben Affleck's The Batman was going to be. I think I read something. It was like, Deathstroke was going to be in it, which I guess
Yeah,
Deathstroke is hanging out with them. Whatever. Um,
yeah,
and he's got a mohawk now. Cool.
I know, right? Like, dude,
Uh, yeah, I listened to an interview with him. The Lights Camera Barstool guys interviewed him,
oh
and they
yeah,
were like, "What was with the mohawk?" And he was like, "It was just a choice." I said, "Hey Zach, can I have a mohawk?" And Zach was like, "Yeah, sure."
he's like, I don't give a fuck.
But what was I gonna say? But yeah, I think the original idea was like it wasn't gonna be set in Arkham Asylum, and it was gonna have like all his
What I
rogues
thought.
gallery. That's what I heard, something like that.
It was something like that. It sounded like at one point they were basically going to remake the video game like Arkham Origins, where all the like the assassins villains, like all the different kind of assassin villains Batman fights are all like trying to take him out over like a night.
Yeah, I mean that would have been cool. I honestly like I'm excited for the Rob Pattinson version.
I just hope
But
it's not another origin movie. Well, they said
no,
it's not.
I
It's
don't
going to be
I
like
don't think
Batman Year Two or
it
something like
is.
that.
It is
But
Batman Year Two. They said that.
which is cool, but I just hope it's not like him. I don't know. I just thought the most interesting part about these Snyder movies and the Batman side was the fact that like all the villains had already fought. He's already introduced. He's already been introduced to all of his villains already, which I was like, that's interesting. I'd like to see that movie.
Well, and at this point you can do that because there's been
Yeah,
so many Batman movies. Um, but no, I mean the scene wasn't bad. It was just out of place. It just didn't belong in this movie. And I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of want to. I mean, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing that play out. I wouldn't mind seeing where that goes because that
yeah,
storyline. I mean, I think it's interesting. Like Superman, like turning evil, and then like them in the apocalyptic world, and I don't know. I mean, I guess they're probably trying to find some way for Zach or for Flash to go back in time. I presume. I'm not really sure. That's probably why he has that
yeah,
armor. I don't know.
yeah. Exactly. I'm sure that would have had something to do with like them like finding a way to beat Darkseid, I guess.
But I mean, that's the well. So let me ask you this: so do you think they? Well, okay, Warner Brothers had said this is the end, but I don't know the way things are now. I feel like people like this, and then but also too like at this point the DCU is a joke, and they're just throwing whatever at the wall and seeing what sticks. I would not be surprised if they were like, "Hey Zach, do you want to like continue this on HBO Max?" I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. It doesn't seem like they have a ton of DC shit lined up. Supposedly they're still making that Green Lantern show, but I've heard nothing about it.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to be a movie, Green Lantern Corps, and then they're gonna make it a show.
Yeah. Then they're gonna make it a show, yeah. And then on the Crisis of Infinite Earths crossover on the CW, they did like a little tease where they showed like the universe that the show's gonna take place in,
Oh,
and then there's been nothing since. Like they showed like basically was the Green Lantern homeworld Oa,
okay.
and it said like the Earth universe is in. But yeah, and then it's been like silence since then. So I'm like, all right, what are y'all doing?
I'm not gonna lie, like I enjoyed this, and I'm kind of bummed that it's not gonna continue. Kind of now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm bummed that's not going to continue, but I kind of just wish they would have just stuck with whatever plan this was. I would have liked to see what movies would have came out of it. I don't know if I was excited about seeing them go to Apocalypse and fight Darkseid and probably meet the New Gods like that. I wasn't super interested in.
Oh, see, I don't know. That sounds cool to me. Like a Darkseid movie and like in the apocalypse and trying to stop evil Batman. And then I'm sure and then them trying to go back in time and like reverse all of that. I think that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny. I was like scrolling Twitter and then I saw like somebody posted like what they had planned. And like, I guess Cyborg movie was supposed to come out a couple years ago and Flash was supposed to come out in like 2019.
At one point, Jordan Peele was going to make Flash.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Remember all the different directors that have been attached to that movie? Jordan Peele, the guy who did True Detective with that Fukunaga.
Yeah. Oh,
he was on it for a minute too.
I know. So I don't know what the status is of the Flash movie, but last I
it's still going. Remember, they say Michael Keaton's going to be in it. Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay, that'd be awesome because I think the director of It is directing it. Anthony Muschietti.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully, it'll be better than It 2 was.
It 2 was not good.
It 2 was trash. It was just like, how do you have that good of a cast and then just like have such a
and what kills me about that movie because I'm not someone who bitches about the length of a movie, but like the whole point of splitting it into two was so that you wouldn't have a 3-hour movie, and that movie was 3 hours. It made no sense.
Yeah.
It's on HBO Max. I could probably watch it again if I want to, but I don't. I like the first one still, but.
Yeah, but no. So maybe we'll see. I bet with them bringing Ben Affleck, Batman into the Flash movie, I could see them trying to like all the story. Them like you probably see him fight Deathstroke at one point, just to kind of here you go, guys.
So what was I gonna say? But yeah, I thought Ben Affleck was like done though. I thought he didn't want to play it anymore.
That's what everyone thought until he signed on to play Batman again in the Flash movie.
Do you think he would be down for like? So I think Zack Snyder. There's no way he would be able to be allowed to make another movie again. But I think they had like a mini series that continued the story. I don't know. Do you think Ben Affleck would be like down for that? I don't know. I don't know. I've heard conflicting stuff too. I've heard also Zack Snyder is done. I don't know. I don't know what to believe because things change all the time and
things change. But from the interviews I've read with like Zack Snyder, it sounds like he'd be into it. I think he liked WB like asking him to finish his movie. Like it was like an ego thing. Like, yeah, I'll do it.
I want him to continue like in a maybe mini because we were talking about this. Like I think this movie was like kind of great. It was longer and it was kind of I think we liked the mini series like Marvel stuff. WandaVision,
I like it that way where it's like you got to kind of wait and you got to like see what's like, like they can have a little B plot lines like that shit in WandaVision with like Evan Peters, like the fake out with that wouldn't have worked in a movie. Like you can only do that with like episodes.
Oh, what did you think about that? We're kind of off topic, but that kind of threw me off.
Oh, I liked it. I didn't want them to introduce like Magneto shows up and how, I was like, no, it was just a nice little why even mind fuck to the fans.
Why even bring him in then? That was my whole thing. I like WandaVision. I actually still really like the show. I thought it was really good.
I just think the story lent itself to that kind of like, oh shit, is this what I think it is? And then it's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, WandaVision was good. I think I talked to you about this. I kind of wish the show was just like each episode was just a random, like, different like take on a sitcom and no plot at all. I would have loved that.
Oh, really? I see. I wouldn't have. I think I hated the first 2 episodes because I was like, okay,
those are my favorite. It was just so weird, and because I watched a lot of Nick at Night, and I was like, I love this. Yeah. Like they're going through all the.
I liked it too, but yeah, at some point it was kind of like I think that what hurt that show is because we've been out of like without movies and like MCU stuff for like over a year at that point. So that was like our first like what's happened after Endgame. So I was kind of like, just get to the fucking point. Anyways, back to Justice League.
I mean, I don't really. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the right director for the Flash movie would have been Zack Snyder. I think that way he could have finished what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, he handled the character very well. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's what could I don't know. I honestly I would not be surprised if this continued. And maybe Zack Snyder directs some episodes, and maybe he produces the show. I don't know. Like I want that to happen.
You can tell he would like to. I mean, the fact that he went back, those epilogues tells me that they're not done. Like the fact, like why even include some of those?
Yeah, I think that was him.
I think that was him, at all.
That was him like trying out like, hey, I'm available if you want me to continue this.
Yeah, keep the fans interested to like ask for it. You know, like come on, we got to see the Nightmare World. Why was Mara there and not Arthur? Like I was like, okay, this is so dumb. I thought it was so dumb. I was like,
that Mara was there.
No, just the whole Nightmare thing. It was just like all the cool badass characters and their guns. And they're like, this is so stupid. Oh, and then we didn't even mention the awful fucking Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor drinking champagne with Deathstroke. That shit was dumb as fuck. Oh. Yeah, and then that whole thing where just Deathstroke. I don't think we missed any. I don't think we missed out on Joe Manganiello Deathstroke. I mean, that scene was ass. I'm sorry, that whole, I think I will have a drink now. I was like, okay, this is supposed to be set up like a big Batman movie. Like, fuck this.
Well, actually, so the scene was different. I actually read into this because originally they were setting up, the dialogue's a little different. That's the thing. You go back and watch, like, if you compare the two, like, the scene's basically the same, but it's like slightly different dialogue. And this one, the original version hyped up the Injustice League more, because I think Lex Luthor was like, "Hey, we need to get a team together or whatever or something." But this one, I think he just straight up tells him like, "Hey, I hear you want to get Batman. I know he's Bruce Wayne." So that scene was different dialogue,
which I like that better because it makes more sense. If Lex Luthor could just pay everybody to do what he wants, like why would you like ask them?
I don't know.
That I like.
The Injustice League would be cool. Injustice League would be cool.
Injustice League would be tight. And then, but the only problem with that sucks is it's like none of the other heroes have like set up villains for that. So it would have been like you would have had to meet all new villains.
Well, that would have been down the line. I mean, they would have introduced those in the solo movies probably.
Well, yeah, or just like I know it would have been badass. Don't get it twisted, but I just feel like these movies were just doing too much. And I think having like a team of like 6 villains would have been too much in the span of a movie. In a TV show, it works perfect.
That's what I'm saying. They should continue this. Yeah. Like, I would like to see like, hey, inform the Injustice League. Like, I don't know. I'd be down. I want more.
I just want more DC. I feel like there's so many cool characters, which we're going to get, it seems. Seems like they're actually going to start really making some fucking movies here soon.
They're still going to make some movies. I just don't think how connected these movies are going to be. I don't know. But the thing is, it's like, you know, Marvel's doing stuff with TV, the MCU, that's going to tie into the movies. So I don't even think that's really a big issue now. You could have a show. If Zack Snyder wanted to do his show, it could, you know, go concurrently with the movies they're going to release. But I don't know.
I read it.
Clusterfuck.
Well, I read an interview. I guess the new person that's over DC said that they thought that's their plan now. Is they think it was like they're making the shows now. Any show on, they're going to try. HBO Max shows are going to like connect to the movies, and they're going to have the characters show up vice versa. I think. They even said in an interview they thought it was stupid that there was like a Flash TV show and a Flash movie and the two had nothing to do with each other. So I'm like, it seems like all the old people are gone.
Yeah, because even the Marvel stuff, like I like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all those shows, but like they're good shows. I know they're not canon, but I always hated how they like got around it. Like Oh yeah, did you hear about the green guy? Like they didn't even like mention like the characters. Like it was just like stupid shit like that. So I actually like what Disney's doing with like the Marvel shows. Like it's like this. No, this isn't just some like spinoff TV show. Like this is like you're gonna need to watch this too.
Yeah, I like it. I like you're watching this like the Falcon, where you saw it like picks up literally right at the end of Endgame, and it shows like his like personal life, and it gives you that time to like get to know the character better.
Falcon was great. I really liked the Falcon Soldier show.
Yeah, I thought that was badass.
And it's like, I mean, man, they poured so much money into that show. That action scene in the beginning was like, I mean, that was like movie quality.
Yeah, him flying around, yeah, it looked just as good. And I like that it was the bad guy from Winter Soldier, the French guy.
I didn't even notice that. That was the same guy?
And I thought it was funny because last time they got him on a boat. So this time they ended up getting him on a plane. So next time maybe he'll be on like a train or something.
Damn, that'd be
cool. It's the same guy.
Sweet. Anything else to cover? I'm trying to think.
I just think I think it's just well covered. I said what could have been awesome. I just think they just didn't have the plan up front, or maybe WB just didn't like the plan. Who knows?
I think WB didn't like Zack Snyder, and I think, oh fuck, we already gave him this movie to direct. We already started.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was. I think the Batman vs Superman like super backlash like really freaked them out.
Yes, so much so that remember Suicide Squad was still in production, and they fucking rehauled that movie, which. I think they squashed that rumor, but I really want to. I want an Ayer cut.
Yeah, I would love that too. But
they
straight up said no.
Supposedly, Jared Leto said like there was like a whole movie worth of scenes cut.
Yeah, which sucks for him because he got shit on for that Joker role. So imagine it's like if you're gonna shit on me, I wish you guys could at least saw the whole performance, not just like a weird edited version of it.
That's the thing. Well, I mean, I feel like before the Snyder Cut thing really took off, wasn't Warner Brothers like, no. So, do I believe them? I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, would it surprise you if they came out with the Ayer cut? I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it would because they got James Gunn as their guy now, and that's money, dude. So they're not gonna fuck with that. They're not gonna confuse people.
Are they?
I think they're going all in on Suicide Squad. The new Suicide Squad.
Oh, that comes out this year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I don't think they're pretending. Yeah, and the TV show, the Peacemaker show, with John Cena.
So are they? They're pretty much pretending like the first Suicide Squad didn't happen.
I don't think so because it's same Harley Quinn, same Rick Flag, same Amanda Waller. They'll probably do some throwaway lines. James Gunn, but he's the kind of writer director. He's going to acknowledge it.
Okay.
In some funny way. He's going to. I'm kind of pissed Will Smith's not going to be in it, but whatever.
Why the fuck didn't he want to be in it?
I don't know the story behind that. I don't think that's come out yet.
I don't know. Probably some weird Scientology shit. I don't know. I mean, for real though, Will Smith is weird.
Will Smith's a weird guy. Did you watch that scene where it was like him and Jada Pinkett Smith talking about her like fucking another guy while they were married, trying to tell us like we didn't understand?
What the fuck? No, I gotta watch this.
It's like she's got that show on Facebook called The Red Table Talk, and
I didn't even know there was a thing. The Red Table Talk.
Yeah, and it was like there was a guy came out that said like, "Oh, I've been fucking Jada Pinkett Smith for last year," and then her and Will Smith had a special episode where it was just them, and they like address it and talk it out with each other, and it's so awkward.
Okay, well, as soon as I get off here,
this was like a year ago.
Also, speaking of people who are dirtbags, did you? What's her name? Amber Heard like pooped in Johnny Depp's bed.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, that was a super abusive relationship for both parts, and she like cut his finger off.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
She threw like a glass at him, and I guess like it like shattered on impact and just like sliced off the tip of his finger. And he posted pictures of it online.
But no, I read a funny article, and it basically was like, yeah, she pooped in his bed, And Johnny Depp was like, he was like, I think they interviewed him. He was like, yeah, that was when I decided I didn't want to be married to her anymore.
I don't blame him, dog. Like, that's your
She's
shit,
hot as fuck,
fucking psychopath.
but she's fucking
Yeah,
cool.
but
She's fine.
Johnny Depp don't need to be married to these women. I don't know what that's about.
You know, he used to date Winona Ryder. Why'd you fuck that up?
Yeah,
God.
back in her prime too, like during Scissorhands and shit. Yeah. Reality Bites. That's peak Winona for me, babe.
Yeah, I would agree. That's probably peak Winona. I'm trying to think what else was she got in. Yeah, no, Reality Bites. Yeah, that is like her apex of hotness.
Yes.
Anything
as far as Justice League goes, yeah, I think that's it. I think I've spent more time with this movie than I have most movies in my life. I watched the original version multiple times. I watched a 4-hour director's cut. I think I'm ready to leave Justice League behind.
Yeah. What would you, if you had to rate this out of 5? What would you give it?
I'd give it a 3.5.
Okay, I would give it a 4. I actually kind of love this up until the epilogue. I think the epilogue is just tacked on, just Zack Snyder sucking his own dick.
Yeah.
Also, too, I heard they're going to release a black and white version. That's like, all right, come on.
The only thing I'd be in favor of the black and white, I think black and white would make some of the low budget CGI parts look a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's where he
thinks it's not some art film though.
Yeah, he's a little full of himself because he says he wants it. The ideal version is black and white, and then he made it do like that 16:3 or whatever.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. The IMAX, I guess, the 4:3.
Yeah. So that way, he says that way eventually people can watch it as I intended on an IMAX screen. And I'm like, all right, asshole.
So wait a minute. So he made it that way knowing that this would premiere on HBO Max?
Yeah, that was a decision he made right during the Snyder, when he was putting together the Snyder Cut.
That is so stupid.
He wants one day for people to be able to watch it on IMAX.
No one's gonna watch that in IMAX. Like, stop.
Exactly. Why am I gonna pay to go see it in IMAX? I can just watch it at home.
I actually think this. I don't know. Is this his best movie?
No, dude. I still think Watchmen's his best movie.
Yeah, I like Watchmen. Which the director's cut of that I think is a little better.
Oh, dude, yeah. Supposedly there's like the ultimate cut, which has got
I have not watched that yet. That's like
I want to watch it so bad. It's got like the cartoons cut into it, like in the comic. How like when they cut to like the pirate comic.
Yeah. Tales from the Black Raiders or whatever it is.
Yeah, Tales from the Black Freighter. Yeah, and he's got like all the deleted scenes that they cut out for stupid reasons. I want to watch it. That's on my list.
I do too. I guess not on HBO Max.
No, you got to find the Blu-ray of it somewhere.
Also, we didn't even mention slow-mo. Dude, chill out on the slow-mo, Zach.
Yeah, that's like his thing, which I'm like, you are not the Wachowski sisters, bro. Okay.
No, I mean, it was cool with the Flash, but everything else, like, just chill out. I think, I was thoroughly surprised. Like, pleasantly surprised. Like, it lived up to the hype. This shit's been going on for years. And I think it lived up to the hype. Like, I actually really got into it, really enjoyed it. It's not perfect, but they could have had if they just cut this down to 3 hours, I think they could have had a hit. Yeah,
I think they maybe should have told Zach 4 hours is too much for any movie. But yeah, 3 hours, I think you would have had a really good, cohesive, tight movie.
Yeah, what could have been. But I'm glad he got to make the version he wanted to, even though I don't even really particularly like him as a director. But I'm one of those people. I am always going to side with the director. I think if you hire a guy to direct a movie, let him make his movie. I mean, just if you wanted fucking Josh Whedon, you should have just got Josh Whedon from the get-go. But
yeah, exactly. Especially with the kind of money they were spending. Like, you could have got anybody you wanted, man. Like, so you wanted Zack Snyder at one point.
Yeah, crazy. All right, I think that is it. Tony, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, boy.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have you back on for Phantom Menace at some point this year.
Oh, Phantom Menace. Now that's one I can go
and
on
I've had
about.
some people say, "Hey, I want to do Phantom Menace." I'm like, "Nah, I'm saving that."
Nah, dude, because you got a true fan of the movie, not some bullshit ass like meme guy.
All right, so next time we have you on, we'll do Phantom Menace. We need to get you to do something besides the superhero movie.
Or we could just keep the DC going, dude.
I'm always down to talk DC. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll do something interesting with like the shows or something. But yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm still telling you, you got to watch Stargirl. That show is the shit.
Well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do like a little side thing where we talk DC shows.
Oh, I'm into that. I like that. Then we could do like a watch. Yeah, we could do like the episodes. Oh, that would be tight.
Ooh.
And then because Stargirl season 2 comes out this summer. So, dude, now you got HBO Max, like catch up. That show is the truth.
All right. So like I said, this was fun. I'm gonna go and watch Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith talk about their awkward relationship. Been fun, and we'll see you next time.